Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Scorpio. So, Scorpio, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my old trusty tarot deck. So, the cards that you see are from this deck. Um, so, Scorpio, you're coming through as a very wise person in terms of managing your resources and doing so in a very fun way, in a way that you use what is necessary without draining all of your money, all of your resources, all of your time, all of your health. Um, but at the same time, having the best time, which is so beautiful because I feel like you have this. Maybe it's your gift. It's like maybe you are a really good manager. Maybe you are just a very wise person in terms of finances. You know how to um, distribute um, your money, everything that you earn, really. Um, and it's like all of these things, maybe your possessions, everything that you can buy or you can acquire with your work, with your wisdom beyond all, it's like it's a real treasure for you. And that the gift is, it's not just about appreciating what you have or what you're able to get because of this wisdom, because of how you are so wise. And you know it's like when you, if you do any type of financial plan, for the things that you earn and everything that you get, everything that you consume, it's like you have a very good balance of in and out, right? Because it all starts really because things are very well oiled. It's like you are this guide of this machinery of your bank account, of your work life, of your financial life, that seems to be very, everything is working properly as it should, because we're starting with the Wheel of Fortune. And this well-oiled machine I was getting from this Wheel of Fortune. So what I received auditorily from this card was things are happening as they should. The wheel is turning in your favor, it seems, Scorpio, because you are being wise, because the way that you're showing up here is as the King of Pentacles. And it's interesting because in recent readings, especially the collective readings, the King of Pentacles have been coming as this very mature and wise and sovereign. That's the word that I was looking for. Sovereign king of the earth, or for the earth. And it's like this very human consciousness, but the awareness of earth and like its own place and a role perhaps here on earth. And I feel like you do have that notion, but it's not the main thing. It's almost like this background information that, and it's not that you take it for granted, it's just that it's so ingrained in who you are that things are moving as they should because you're so in tune with the earth, with this realm, with the 3D, with the financial system, perhaps with your savings, with your earnings, with your projects, with your maybe even with your health, right? Because it's all about what is tangible, what is material, the things that you possess, the body that you have, the things that you own, the work that you do. All of this seems to be very, it's like very well oiled. It's like you take care of these things in a very proper manner, in a very appropriate way. You are it seems like you are very dedicated to how you live your life, or how you are um it's like tending to your life in a very wise way, but having all of these, it's like it's coming through as a very mundane life, right? It's like you value your mundane life, but because the Wheel of Fortune is the card that is starting your reading, and to me the first card is setting the tone for the entire reading. This card talks about this universal type of alignment, right? So you are aware of that. It's like you're not thinking about that 24/7. It's not the most important thing in your day, but it's there, and things are working out in a way that is incredibly valuable to you because you have this background information, right? You have this notion, this awareness, and it's not something that you're completely unaware of. It's like you're not a materialistic person. That's how I'm seeing it. It's like you value the material things, but at the same time, you know that there is a higher purpose. You know that there is a reason why things are, happening in such a perfect sync, right? In such a perfect movement, because the wheel is turning as it should. And you are being very conscious and very meticulous and very attentive not to let your material approach become a materialistic approach, if that makes sense. It's like so let me show you the cards. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. What this card was showing me was water being drained, right? Water going down the sink in a sense. But the Six of Pentacles was talking about modesty. This is the word that I heard with this, which is interesting because it's tying back to the Virgo reading. I think it was the Virgo reading that was talking about the modesty. But there was a little bit of that in the Libra reading yesterday too. But in your case, it is very it's very practical. It's like living a modest life, like literally living a modest life. It's almost like you could have a very luxurious, a very big life, right? It's like you can afford a very chic, very rich, a very what is that word? Maybe even superficial, right? It's like buying superficial things, buying things that you don't need. It's like you could afford that, right? It wouldn't be something that would bankrupt you. It's like you can afford these things, but it's like you have the awareness because this comes from this Wheel of Fortune, right? The awareness of a bigger purpose, something that is just beyond yourself, beyond this physical reality. It's like you know how to conduct your life in a very appropriate way, in a very aligned way with the universe, with what like you interpret as your higher purpose in terms of what is here for you, right? What are the options available for you? But it's like every event in your life, maybe even how your body is, or what are the opportunities that you have been presented throughout your life, personally or professionally, and maybe mostly professionally. It's like you take advantage of all of those things. It's like you know how to use very well the things that you have been given, in a sense, or the things that have crossed your paths, right? It's like taking advantage of the wheel. It's like being aligned with it, being in agreement with it. So because of that, you don't allow that this draining happens, right? It's like whatever this could have been, it's almost like just because you can afford, you could have been tempted to drain all of your resources just because you can, right? It's like, and because we are in an environment, in a culture, in a society where this excessive consumption habit is present, is kind of like the norm, right? Things could go down a very quick path of, you draining all of your resources all at once. But because there is this consciousness of this balance, of this modesty, it's like you know that this is a path that goes both ways. So it needs to come back to you. It's almost like if you're giving or if you are purchasing something, you know that there's something that is going to come in return. And it's not the expectation, which is interesting also because this seems to be the theme, right? It's like managing the expectations, managing your assumptions of what you're going to receive in return of what you're giving. So since the Virgo reading, it seems like managing expectations, but for you, that seems to be the theme. But for you specifically, Scorpio, it seems to be very tangible. It seems to be very something very practical, right? It's like the money that you have in your bank account, or the work that you do, or the job that you have, or like the physical condition that you have, right? It's like taking care of your health. It's like the most important thing. But you're not going to do any type of treatment or exercise or routine, or take any type of supplement that is going to unnecessarily drain your resources and not bring you the result that you want or that you desire or that you expect to be there, right? It's like there's something that you know that is fair, that is just fair. So it's like you have awareness, you have this very real practical wisdom about how to deal with your resources, how to use them really, right? How to appropriate yourself from the things that you earn, but in a very wise way, in a very mature way. And so even though here there is this modesty with the Six of Pentacles, there's also, I feel like the most important thing about the Six of Pentacles, despite the modesty, who, maybe people who know your financial condition and know how much you could have like this luxurious life, would look at your life and wouldn't understand really like your choice to live this modest life when you could have, the best life, which for you, that's the interesting thing. For you, the best life, it's not about how much you spend or how much you earn. The best life for you is the one that you can be yourself fully, is one that you don't have to wear any masks. You can just be spontaneous and free and have fun, right? It's like the Sun card coming next. It's like having the best time in what others would perceive as a very modest, simple life. Because in terms of your resources, in terms of whatever you earn, yes, you could afford in a normal, what we believe it's normal because society says it's normal, right? To have it all, to consume everything possible because this is what is going to bring happiness. And I feel like what you're saying is like, no, it's not. It's like I can have the best life with this very simple life, not spending that much, and also receiving what is agreed, what is fair, what is just, what is right for me at that moment, right? It's like if you want the best life, you can have it for not that much money, right? It's like you can have the best life, you can have a lot of joy and a lot of happiness without having to spend that much. And I feel like to you, that's the real treasure. To you, this is something that you it's like you're exploring by valuing with the Ace of Pentacles everything that you earn and everything that you receive. So it's almost like this Ace of Pentacles is zooming in on each one of these pentacles. So, you know, it's this road, right, that goes back and forth. So whatever you are spending, whatever is coming out of your bank account, it's like you value each penny. Whatever is coming in, on the other hand, you value each penny. You see what I mean? And you're having the best life ever. It's like you're having a blast, really. It's like there's something about the sun here that is like so I was watching this video the other day, and it was this YouTuber that bought this home for her in the desert, and she said something that I feel like really embodies the what I'm seeing here for you. And she was very proud because it was her first home. So, you know, she was a little bit in awe with all of that, right? And she could afford it. She could buy that land. And so she got to this higher spot in her house, and she looked outside, and the sun was touching, you know, the entire land. And so she said something along the lines of, you know, wherever the sun touches is my land. And I feel like this is what you are, this is your approach. It's like, but it's more metaphorical than that, because the sun is in you. So in a sense, it's not the outside source of this light that is illuminating your happiness and illuminating your joy, but rather you looking at whatever is coming in and out, whatever you're earning and whatever you're spending is the source, in a sense, of your happiness, because you are this it's like you are this center point in this wheel of fortune that is, in a sense, manifesting the reality that is bringing you all of material value. But the material value is like just this externalization of something that you feel inside already with a very modest life, right? I hope this makes sense, Scorpio. It's like you're finding beauty and joy and happiness in the most simple things, and because of that you're feeling so rich, right? It's like feeling, first of all, rich inside, and then realizing that you have all of this, right? That you can play, that you can enjoy yourself, that you can just have fun with it, right? Have fun with the material things in life. And so here we're ending with an interesting thing, because we're ending with another 8, and this is the 8 of Wands. So I feel like if you weren't this wise like you seem to be, if you weren't this humble in a sense, but also very modest, right, in terms of like not needing much to be happy, right? It's like it's not about the material things, but the material things, they can be turned into something very enriching, right? And not just enriching in terms of the money itself, but the experience and what you do with it and how you use it in a way that brings you fun, brings you this joy, right? So at the same time that here the 8 of Cups was talking about how maybe, yes, you could afford to spend all of your money and have amazing things, right? Have a very luxurious life. It seems like it's like you're wise enough not to do that. And the reason for that is not just because you are aligned with this higher purpose in a sense, and it gives you this centeredness, right? It gives you this wisdom. the Eight of Wands was talking about seeing the forest, seeing the entire forest. So I don't really know the saying that well, but I believe it goes something like seeing the forest for the trees or seeing the trees for the forest, right? Something like that. But I feel like you do, it's like you do both. It's like you're able to zoom in and zoom out. So that's the reason why for you, you're very aware that if you are not careful or attentive, right? Because it's not being careful as in like being fearful that you won't have enough, because you have more than enough. That's the thing. It's like you know that you can afford, but you're not going to spend just because there is this very persuasive advertisement that is going to convince you to buy the latest iPhone or whatever it is, right? So there's something about you knowing that this is not the way to go, because you can see each penny and value each one, but also you can see the bigger picture. It's almost like you can zoom in to each purchase, to each work that you did, to each cent that you received. But you can also zoom out and have a bigger sense of the entire picture, right? It's like this is it's almost like flying above the forest and seeing the entire flying above the trees and seeing the entire forest. That's how I meant to say it. So you see the forest for what it is, but you also value each tree in this forest, right? So because of that, you are really managing very wisely what you have. And so I just feel like, congratulating you, because you're doing really fine and you're having the best time ever. So just go enjoy your resources, go enjoy your time, go enjoy the material things in life, but also the simple things in life, because I feel like you are able to value everything in in each detail, but also in this bigger picture kind of way. So, Scorpio, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So, if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.